Well, today I've got a little bit of project on my hands. So my friends at Canpump sent me a new version of their electric pressure washer, the CR3000. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna do unboxing, assembly, and then go over the unit, how you should use it, how you should store it, and what to expect. So first off, it comes in 3 boxes this time. A previous unit I had 2. So this one, I believe it's the cart, pump, and then maybe the motor, but let's start unboxing and find out pretty soon. All right, I opened up the boxes, so let's take a look. First one, we've got the cart here. And it looks like cart, hose, gun. Let's check this box. It's the pump, it's got the manual, it's got the hose, vent, unloader, and then there's the pump, and then this box is gonna be the motor. All right, so what I'm gonna do is get everything out on the table with some tools, and then let's start assembly. Okay, so I got everything unboxed, set up. So we got the motor. This is the 115 volt motor. It has that yellow sleeve on because there is a key already installed. The tires in the back, pump there. Pump has the oil already filled. It does not have the unloader installed. That's pretty common, that's easy. We'll show you how to install that. We got manuals, tips, O-rings, bolts, the rubber feet for the cart, and some other accessories. This is the top handle with the electronics control box. The silver part is for the gun and the hose reel. The black are the feet for the cart. And then we have the base of the cart, the gun and wand, and the hose, which has quick connects, and they look to be brass. So first, I'm gonna assemble the cart, then I'll go from there. So I've got everything laid out. Not too many tools are required to assemble this. Just a couple of sockets, adjustable wrench, depend how you like it. So 18 millimeter, 14, 12, 10 millimeter. I've also got wrenches for those, and then I have an adjustable wrench. So first, I am gonna start by building the legs. I'm gonna attach the rubber piece, and then I'm gonna flip this cart over and build this up. So let's start by attaching the rubber feet to the legs. Undo the bolt, you have a lock washer here. Insert, put the lock washer in, put the bolt, hand tighten it as much as you can first. And that's it. Then do this a second time for this one. To attach the legs, I have a 10 millimeter socket and an adjustable wrench. These are 13 mils, I'll use adjustable wrench, and these are 10. So these have flared washers, the lock washers, so you don't have to worry about it coming apart. How I like to do these is kind of line them up, hand tighten them first, and then tighten them up fully at the end. So I'll do both of these. That one is good. That one is good. One's good. That's the bolt. You might have to spread the brackets a little just to make sure they line up. So those are lined up. Gonna take my adjustable wrench and just snug these up. So I'm gonna do that to all 4 bolts. For this stage, all you need is the 18mm wrench. This is 18mm. It's a plastic locking nut. Unscrew it by hand. This goes into the cart, so it is just a quick little connection. All right, to install this, push that down, look for it, and then it'll kick there. On the tires, these are aired tires, so I would put the valve stem facing out. It's a lot easier to gain access to, when you need to add air to the tires. So just slide them on, get your bolt, and tighten. I did put an extension on for easier reach. Okay. That's it. And the nice thing is, these wheels look like they have bearings too. You can see the bearing and you can see they're tubed. So that's really nice. I've had a lot of hardship with these once they go flat. If you pull the carts around, so having tubes on here is very nice. And then it's also got the 90-degree valve stem, so you have easy access. So we're almost done with the cart. Next step, install the handle, and you have those same pins. So both sides are locked in. You can tell here. Next, I'm going to install the hose carrier, gun carrier, and I'm also going to put the tips in so these are out of the way. So I have the tips set up. I like to put them in order of size. So this is 0, 15, 25, 40 soap. It's just a matter of putting. So tips are all set. Next thing, this is the hose and wand. So there's one washer, one bolt. The bolt is 13mm. So either use a socket or use your adjustable wrench. This can only go in one direction, and there's only holes on one side. So it goes like that. Nice and snug. Oh, need a little access room for the wrench. So now the cart is completely built. Next step, we'll be putting the motor on and then mounting the pump to the motor. So we've got the cart pretty much done. I'm gonna zip tie the wires a little bit later. I have the sticker to put on. But next step is to mount the motor. So here's the bolts. I've already lined it up. It takes a little bit of work. You just got to find the right holes that fit. But you have your 4 bolts, flange washers on here. These have lock washers, and then you have additional washers for where you need to. So what I'm going to do is do bolt. Not sure if I'm going to put a washer on or not. Then go through, then put another washer, then do a lock nut or a locking washer, then a nut. So to get the bolts in, I recommend doing this one, that one, and the final one back there. But it kind of takes, you got to kind of wiggle it till you feel the holes. So it might take you a few seconds, but these are definitely easier to find, those 3. So I am going to put it approximately center because I like centering things. And then I'm going to do washer, lock nut, and bolt on all 4. So tighten these up. I'm using my adjustable. And then the bottom side is 13mm. And it's do each one. So it's a little tight in here, but it's not terrible. And then just get them nice and good and tight. So I'll do the other three, and then we'll get on to the next part of assembly. So I'm gonna put the sticker on next, and then also I put these in the wrong order. To match the sticker, they have the red here, so 0, 15, 25, 40 soap. So I'm gonna reverse these. To put the sticker on, to hold it, I like to use a piece of painter's tape or masking tape. That way I know it is even all the way around, and then peel off the backing and work from one side to the next. So what I did, I peeled back the backing, basically creased it, and start from one edge and then just work it slowly. I'm also going to take this tape off. It doesn't interfere, but just kind of go from one side to the next, and then just smooth it out. And make sure you press it so that way the adhesive has such. So something else I like to do, in the kit you will get this piece. It is to clean the nozzles when they jam. You just push it inside the nozzle. To clean it. Very useful, very easy to get lost. I like to take a zip tie and just zip tie it to the handle. That way I know it's around and I'm not gonna lose it. So what I also like to do, so I don't catch myself, cut it and then hit it with a torch. Because if not, it is way too easy to get poked with these and or cut. So I would leave that here, and I'm gonna put it right over there. All right, next up. So this cord from the motor plugs into the box, the control unit. This control unit plug goes into the outlet. I am gonna put this through here and then connect it right into here, so that way it's nice and neat. So I just use the cord ties, one here, one here. Some places do not recommend using zip ties on electrical power cords because they can chafe them. So I'm probably gonna change this later, maybe use a little electrical tape, but also notice I don't have too shallow turns, like everything's kind of nice. These are very thick cords because this needs 15 to 20 amp breaker. So it is consuming a lot of power. So just be careful on that. Now for the fun part, time to mount the pump. So the pump, the bolt heads are 14 millimeter. And when you're aligning it, be careful on the shaft. So this protector slides off and you have a key there. Make sure the key is in there and that it is lined up with the pump. This pump is a lot harder to turn than the motor. So when you line it up, line the motor up and you're gonna have to slide it on. I usually put like a grease or oil on here. This has a oil or film on here. So that's better to do so that way the pump doesn't stick in case you need to take it off at a later date. Okay, so I checked out the pump. The keyway is going downwards. This keyway is going downwards. And then we, of course, will have to probably wiggle it a bit. And I saw the key did not drop out. I also listened, didn't hear or see anything. Pushed that all the way. And then put the bolts in. So I am gonna start with 2, just a little hand tight. Both of these have caught. I'm gonna put the other ones in and start tightening them up. So I did misspeak. The bolts holding the motor on are 9/16. So now we gotta put the unloader on and the vent cap. So this is for transportation, shipping, that way the oil doesn't leak out of the pump. That needs to be switched with the vent cap. but then also we need to install the unloader. So the unloader is a 21 millimeter wrench. So let me put the camera down, pull these plugs, and then put it on. So to get these plugs, sometimes you need a set of pliers, sometimes you just kind of wiggle them and you will get them out. Kind of turn since the hole is threaded. All right, so let's talk unloader. So this unloader has O-rings here. Make sure the O-rings are in position. Sometimes O-rings fall off in shipping, like see, that's coming off. This one, it's not. Just make sure they're there. If you don't have them in, you're gonna leak everywhere. So on these, because of it being a little, it does move up and down. Sorry, another O-ring there. Make sure everything is in position, and then start by hand because it is brass, and sometimes stuff like this is a little tricky to start. All right, that one started. Now, time to get the bottom. That is not 21 millimeters, so let me get another wrench. So I did not have a wrench that fits the bottom one, so I used my adjustable wrenches again. I'm just tightening that and tightening that. All right, I tightened both bolts on the unloader. I'm actually, this is adjustable, so you can go either way, but next step is to take this cap out. So that is the shipping cap. And then install the vent cap. And then this does have an O-ring, you can see. And also you can see right here that the unit does come with oil. So it is pre-shipped or pre-filled for shipping. And then this cap doesn't need to be super tight, just needs to be good and snug. So we are almost done. Next step is the gun and the wand. So typical, I think this is a 22 millimeter thread. You just put it right like that. Being new, it's easy to assemble everything. Always remember too, you might want to put a little extra grease. It has grease in it. Sometimes I've done that on units if I know I'm going to take them apart a lot. That way, it's really easy to get apart. So this is set. Just need to put the hose on, connect the soap too. All right, put this in its location. Let's snip this. I'm gonna leave the quick disconnects connected, so that way it holds it nicely. And then connect the... All right, so I'm gonna put the quick connect on here because there's a strainer with a washer. And you don't wanna lose that because then it'll just leak everywhere. So let me put this on. Also the unloader, you can tighten it and loosen it. So you can adjust the pressure of via the unloader. And then as for the soap, I am gonna add a little oil on here because I was trying to put it on before and it was very difficult. So I'm just gonna use a pair of pliers. There it goes. To get it all the way. And we're done. So when you're all said and done, you're gonna have, this is the oil cap. I would keep it in case you ever need to move the unit. It's easier to put in the pump, and it's a lot easier than cleaning up oil that's spilled everywhere, because I've done that. It's a few extra caps. I didn't use those washers because the bolt had a washer head. Some extra O-rings, which is nice, and then some manuals. And that should be all you have when you're done. Well, let's stare at it. So assembly's complete. It wasn't too bad to do. I was a little off on some of the sockets I mentioned, so you might need a little more from the initial part of the video. Also, I highly recommend an adjustable wrench, like I use the Nipex. Those are absolutely fantastic. So let's go through a few notes on this unit and clarity. It's a 115 volt motor. So what that is that's typical North American plugs, US, Canada, and I'm not sure about Mexico. However, what you have to remember is it's a 20 amp motor. So you need a 20 amp circuit. 20 amp plugs have this plug perpendicular to this plug. So remember that. And what's significant about 20 amp circuit is if you use lower, like a 15 amp, you're probably gonna blow the circuit, blow the breaker. So you really wanna do for 20. If for some reason you can't, you might have to lower the pressure significantly with the unloader, which is right there. So you would turn it out, which is counterclockwise. So if you turn it all the way in, it's clockwise. Out more is counterclockwise. Counterclockwise is lowering the pressure. So next note, brass quick connects, pretty awesome. Quick connects on the hose, and the hose is a commercial duty, heavy duty hose. Very, very well built, so no complaints on that. Next, other topic, the tires. I like how they are ball bearings and they include tubes, especially for these small tires. That's a really nice feature. And the cart is very well constructed. It's steel, powder coated or epoxy coated, and it looks like it's gonna last for many, many years. Overall, this is a great unit, but on that note, it's only gonna last many, many years if you take care of it. Take care of it means when it's winter, winterize it properly, put pump saver in it, and also when you're not using it, drain the water out. How I like to do that is just hook up a air line from an air compressor to the water inlet and just blow water through it blow air into it till the water comes through it. That'll make sure the pump is not just winterized, but it's also getting all the chlorine, the harsh chemicals out of the pump head, and it'll last a lot longer. So only other note I have is on the unloader, which is right here. Well, it's this assembly, but when you're installing it, if you remember, I kind of separated it and put it back together. There's an O-ring there. If you try to push this brass piece all the way down, it's not gonna fit because this bolt and this bolt is not gonna line up. So remember that so you don't have trouble. But next video will be testing the unit. So that's gonna come shortly, hopefully. Get some gauges, test it, see what it can do, and I will keep you informed. If you have any questions, please either leave questions, comments on the video. Feel free to reach out to me on the comments or reach out directly to Canpump. I've worked with them for several other products and they're always there to help. So thanks again for watching and have a great day.